Day number 3, it is the final day of round robin portion here at the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championships here on 360 Live. Hi everybody, Dan Hobson. This is the Pictou County Crushers basically trying to play the role of spoiler here, taking on the Glace Bay Miners. Miners in the black, Crushers in the white. Referee has dropped the puck and we are underway. And we will talk about the way things are progressing here at the championships when we get our first break later on here in the broadcast. As a shot is wide there by the Miners to start things off. They have St. Clair Pilling out here, as well as Clark a forward line. They have been doing very well. Matheson out there, and O'Hanley on defense. So it's been a good championships for the Glace Bay Miners here. They have gotten themselves into the Final Four. Where they are or where they're going to be when the smoke clears at the end of the day today is yet to be determined there. But of course, Pictou may have a little bit of decisive factor in that. They will not be going to the playoff round. As I said, they can play the role of spoiler, but of course, they're also going to keep trying to play and learn, and because they have the Atlantics in a couple of weekends now from New Glasgow at the Pictou County Wellness Center. So there's something for them, of course, to keep on playing and to also scout here some of the Nova Scotia teams, because you definitely know that one of these teams, whether it's Bedford, Glace Bay, West Hants, and the Tassa Ducks, they will be there. One of those teams and New Glasgow will be at the Atlantics in a couple weekends from now. So they're just going to try to play the role of spoiler, as I mentioned, and keep still trying to do maybe improve and maybe hit their peak by the time the championships come in a couple of weeks. Cameron keeps that alive, sends it in. A stop there by Alex Palmer. He's the starting goaltender for the Pictou County Crushers. And Manny Strong, the fancy dancer. Let's see how he could flash the glove, and the blocker is going to be the starting goaltender there for the Glace Bay Miners here in this one. And this is his second game here at the championships. Whistle stops play as we're 9 seconds shy of the 2-minute mark passed here in the period. Walston Hanrahan on the draw. Puck out center ice here. Martin sends it in. And now here comes the Miners the other way. Nice piece of work here done by Nearing in behind the net. Nearing has a little bit of size to disadvantage here, of course, playing in PeeWee. This is what you're going to find at this level, is you're going to have guys that are giants, and then you're going to have players that haven't quite hit their growth spurt yet, and he's one of those little forwards, but he's got some speed there. Keep an eye on number 11, Kyle Nearing there for the Glace Bay Miners. Pictou Crushers, well, they gambled, and, sometimes when you gamble, you end up either big risk, big reward yesterday in their game against the West Hants Warriors. They tried to pull their goaltender, try to get some points here to try to get into that higher up in the standings. That it was to no prevail. The shot there, scores! Matheson, after he shot it, blew a tire, and it was a worm burner right along the ice, and he sneaks it home. And the unfortunate part is he didn't know it went in because he was down, gets up. Oh, there it is. Goal scored by Matheson at 2:41. He makes it 1-0. Didn't get a chance to that first break here, so as puck's out to neutral ice, we'll see Smith dump it in. Glace Bay Miners coming into today see themselves sitting right now in that 4th playoff spot, so if things stay as is, they will face the Tassa Ducks in the first round tomorrow morning at 8:30, but a win here and they will jump up. Later on today, West Hants Warriors take on the Tassa Ducks. And it's pretty simple formula for them. Win and they get first place. A win there by West Hants, and all of a sudden the remaining three teams that are tied for second right now. As O'Neill had a chance, and that's stopped there by Palmer. The remaining three teams in the top that we're talking about, Bedford, West Hants, and Glace Bay, all of a sudden come into the factor of first place. So that is a key game at 12 o'clock between those two teams. On paper, it looked like it was going to be the finals, but both teams undefeated in the regular season, but it doesn't look like that will come to fruition. But, of course, stranger things have happened, and anything can happen in this sport with this type of format. So never say never, as Cameron will bring it out to center ice there for the Miners. O'Coin now, pass there too far out of O'Neill's reach, but he does finally come up with it. McIntosh is going for a change, so they're shorthanded a man for the meantime, but coming in is Nearing there. Nearing had a good poke there, but it's going to be covered up there by Palmer. Nearing replacing McIntosh on the change, and of course with the change he was uncontested, nobody guarding him, and he pretty well had almost a good tap-in chance, but Palmer a little bit quick to the draw more than Nearing. Four minutes and 24 seconds gone here in the opening period. Matheson at 2:41 has the Glace Bay Miners leading by a score of 1-0. Nice piece of work there by Walsh to get it out to center ice area. And now with a burst of speed here is Dalton. Has Martin with him as well. It's actually Crosman, my apologies. And back out to center ice. And assessing the situation is Conrad. John K. Martin tried to hit Walsh, but it's too far out of his reach. Back to his own zone is Landon McIsaac here for the Miners. Puck is underneath Hutchings. He's trying to get up, and he does free it. Walsh has it, and now we'll send it to the corner. And in the foot race, Cathcart will come up with it. Of course, Cathcart has family members watching back in Glace Bay, and we say hello to them watching online and hope you're enjoying the broadcast from the comforts of home, and maybe have a little bit of pancakes and sausage and some eggs there. Breakfast, great way to have it. Breakfast and a hockey game on the laptop. What can you say, right, folks? As the Crushers are starting to get some chances here, and coming up strong is strong. There for the goaltender for the Glace Bay Miners as the puck's going back down. Hanrahan with a nice move. Hanrahan comes around, and he didn't miss the post by much. Nice work. He had his lunch pail and his hard hat on, came up with a loose puck. Was going to go for a change, and now they finally will finish that change as Hanrahan sends it in to Palmer, and he covers up. Rylan Hanrahan, he has looked impressive here at the championships. Worked hard and got a good chance, and then knew that his team needed a change. Put it on goal and made sure that Palmer stopped it for the whistle to complete that change. This one rolls in completely on a clean face-off win, but the puck just went all the way to Palmer, and he covers up. Reminder, later on today, 2 o'clock, the RCS Construction Skills Competition, so that should be fun. And it's really a good way for the players to, this has been an intense championships, there's no doubt about it, folks. You play one game and then you have 2 games on a Friday. A chance maybe to let loose and let your hair down and have a little bit of fun and have some giggles. And the thing is, there's also camaraderie. While they're rivals here on the hockey rink, they're friends, because the thing is, you would play at tournaments, you get to know each other and have some, back and forth, fun meeting players. Here's our first penalty of the game. That's going against the Glace Bay Miners. Going to be an interference penalty. This power play brought to you by Atlantic Acura. So with 8:29 remaining here in the opening period, Pictou County Crushers will get the first chance here on the power play to tie it up. But this will be a face-off win there by the Miners, and it's sent down. So sets the situation is Caden Campbell in behind the net. And with a burst of speed, McGilvery had a goal in their game, one of their 2 games yesterday. Campbell again. McKenzie there does some nice little fancy footwork there to keep it alive. Wrist shot for the blue ice out the other side. Mosier right there, the team captain there for the Crushers, has it. Drops it back to McKenzie. Four-man box set up here by the Glace Bay Miners. 1:20 remaining in the interference penalty to the Miners. And the Miners will find the opening and send it down. Campbell first back there for the Pictou County Crushers. So it's Campbell, Mosier, McGilvery, Steele. Now they're going to make a change here, and Marchand will come on. That's the power play unit. Here's McKenzie, wrist shot. Hits the skate of Gutwald and goes in behind the net. And Gutwald will now get the puck and send it down. 40 seconds remaining in the penalty. Crushers have a little bit of their second unit out here, so there's a long late pass up ahead as they miss Krillman. Gutwald will have a chance to send it down again, and it hits the stick there to Walsh as he stops it there. Here comes Walsh now. It's a 2-on-2, making a 3-on-2. Where's a shot by Walsh? A rebound there. And Crosman had a chance there for a swing and a tap in and unable to do it. Marchand steps into it and stopped by Strong. Oh, how did he not miss that? A wide open net. And you can see the players laboring. That is Steele, and that's probably why he's didn't get a chance to tap in. Was in the blue ice and the penalty is over. But most importantly, Pictou fans are hoping that Steele is okay, and we hope the same thing as well. As a shot there. Once again coming in was Hutchins there, and that's stopped by Plummer. A good chance, 0 for 1 on the first power play in the late stages. 2 shots on that power play, which was brought to you by Atlantic Acura, of course. But their chances came late, and they had a good one, but Steele was unable to get it, and we'll keep an eye on him. Right now, of course, our press box area is below the bench, so I really have nothing really to report to the fans who are watching online. So, and of course, our camera is facing the Glace Bay Miners bench, so when we see him, I guess that means that he's A-okay. So we'll keep an eye on it and update everybody. Of course, injuries are not going to be reported here at these championships. Pictou playing it out. Of course, this is their last game of the championships, but not their last game of the season. As we mentioned, they'll host the PeeWee Provincials. Austin happy to send it into the corner. Pictou County Crushers looking good here. There's a high bouncing puck there. Strong was trying to go for the catch. It doesn't come up with it, but his big defenseman will get a long lead pass up ahead, but that's too hard for Nearing to handle, so they've iced the puck, but they get an all-important change as McIsaac high-fives one of his players, a fresh 5. St. Clair O'Hanley as well as Clark. Clark to take the draw against Cade Mosier. Here is St. Clair. St. Clair has some room now. Can he pull the shot? No, but a nice little stick there by Campbell just gets in the way and really was going to prevent a good scoring chance. It looked like St. Clair had some room, but it collapsed quickly. McGilvery wrist shot. There is Steele, so that's good to see. So he seems to be A-okay. He's shaking it off. Doing a little Taylor Swift here on a Saturday morning. That pass in the feet of St. Clair is unable to work. Back out to neutral ice area and sent down. Miners 4 back, so now they are on the attack once again. Trying to set up Clark there as he was driving towards the net. And now Mosier will come up with it here for the Crushers. Pass up ahead there to Steele. Mosier now gets it once again, trying to cut down Main Street. A little bit of a worm burner that has a little bit of a knuckler effect, but Strong had difficulty at first. Covers up for the stoppage and play. 4 minutes and 12 seconds remaining here in the period. Billy Cameron with the puck, a big defenseman, and that seems to be one of the trait here so far at the Champions. We've seen a lot of big defensemen there. Is Strong having a little bit of difficulty. Pictou has a chance to wrap it around. It's inside the blue ice again, being waved off, and close call once again. A couple of pucks in the blue ice, and wide open cages. Marchand steps into it. That's wide. Pictou coming close here, getting that equalizer. 3:40 remaining here in the period as they put the pressure on. So this has been a split period. Miners came out good. Pictou now coming on here to the late stages of the first. But the lone goal belonging to Matheson at 2:41. Billy Cameron once again with a little bit of room. Lead pass, tape to McIntosh. Tries to thread the eye of the needle to O'Neill. O'Neill with the shot, and not much on it, but a stop there by Palmer. A one and done, and in transition go the Crushers. Mosier gets across the blue line, loses it to McIsaac. McIsaac there will send it far sideboards. A nice piece of work there by Smith there for the Crushers. Stops it momentarily, but now on the drive here is McIsaac, and not afraid to join the rush, and now he'll go back and play his position. In the meantime, this will allow the Crushers to come out of their own zone. 2:36 remains here in the period as a bouncing puck, and Strong gets a little piece of it, trying to get a sharp angle shot there. Was the Crushers. Smith to no prevail. Hanrahan, Hutchings now, 2-on-2. Hanrahan has it. Oh, he's going to get ready to pull the shot and lost the handle. Mosier, nice move to get by McIsaac, but well defended there, as back there was Cathcart there. Looks to be that Cathcart's a stay-at-home defenseman there for the Miners. You see that they are solid defensively, not really giving up too many in terms of 3-on-2s or 2-on-1s so far in the championships, as Hanrahan can't handle that pass. Hutchins had a chance to clear and can't. Now a chance here for Cathcart once again trying to spin away. Nice little move, puts on the brakes and eludes the forecheck, and now the Miners will get out to center ice. Chipping it in is Clark. Clark has St. Clair. St. Clair can't get there in time for the tap in. Nice work there by Clark and St. Clair. And Clark and St. Clair have been pretty dangerous here in the championships, and here they come once again. This time they have their other line mate, Matheson, number 3, doing some work here. That pass to St. Clair hops over his stick. O'Hanley has to go outside the blue line to handle it, so the Crushers come up with the steal. And speaking of steal, Miners say anything you could do, I could do better, I'll steal. Thank you very much. Neutral zone turnovers here as we're under a minute to go here in the first. Matheson hits it with his skate as he goes in. Campbell will be first back or for the Crushers, and here they come. Walsh now with a little burst of speed there along the near side boards. Gets into the attacking zone. Miners winning that puck battle along the boards there, and a chance here for Cameron to get to the blue line, but not out. Campbell sends it in towards the corner. Steele can't handle it, and this will allow Pilling to come up with the puck there for the Miners, and makes a couple of nice moves. Pilling to O'Neill on McKenzie. Can he get position? No, he goes down. Referee's arms stay down as well. 17 seconds remaining here in the opening period as the Miners here trying to end this first period very strong, getting some good chances. Pilling has the one-timer. There's the shot, and Palmer makes a stop there, and O'Neill comes out front to Pilling again. Slapper there by O'Coy in the late stages of the period. So bend but don't break, says the Pictou County Crushers. And it's 1-0 after the opening 20 minutes of play. Back after this. Folks, you want to find out what's going on here at the Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championships? Look me up at Twitter. There is my Twitter handle at DanHobson12. I put the standings up there. So if you have maybe a little difficulty, probably maybe trying to decipher who is where, All you have to do is take a look at my Twitter picture that I put up there, and it will give you up-to-date standings as we begin day number 3 of the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Championships here on 360 Live. Back we go here in the second period, 1-0 the score. Matheson early in that first period, 2:41 with the marker for the Glace Bay Miners. Cameron keeps it alive there for the Miners, but not for long as the puck's now out the neutral ice area. Here comes O'Neill. O'Neill, McIntosh, and Pilling. May not have a lot of size, but they've got a lot of heart and they've got some speed there. And a nice defensive play there by Spence there for the Crushers there, really impeding that progress and shutting the door for that scoring chance. Cameron now gets position there on Smith and really takes the puck just like that. Miners fan on trying to get things going in offensively there for them. Hanrahan now, once again. Nearing was, well, they weren't on the same page. Nearing was going towards the net, and then he thought better and made him go to the corner. And we have a penalty coming up. It will be body contact. And it's going against Hanrahan. So another Atlantic Acura power play here for the Pictou County Crushers. 1:14, the time of that penalty. Crushers on their power play here in that first period, they had some chances in the late stages. They were looking good here. Let's see if they can actually keep coming at it as Manny Strong covers up there and the Crushers win a face-off. And you can see the importance of face-offs during specialty teams, whether you're killing a penalty or being on the power play. That resulted in, of course, the face-off win resulted in the scoring chance. Let's see round 2 here between Mosier, and Mosier wins it once again. There's McDonnell. Mosier now trying to spin away. Solid defenseman there for the Miners, guiding him, making life miserable for him, whatever term you want to use. Puck inside the corner. McDonnell now has it. And we'll go rink wide. There's Mosier. Mosier, swinging a miss by McGilvery. And he looks to the heavens after that. And it's set down by the Miners. 1:20 left and Hanrahan's body contact penalty. Might see Mosier a lot here and maybe play most of this power play. We'll have to wait and see. He's definitely on the first unit. Team captain wears number 18, Cade Mosier. Well, that's a solid penalty killing here by the Glace Bay Miners. Keep it down low. They're happy to freeze it up. Boy, there's a smorgasbord of bodies all tied up there. 3 players in the meantime. Here comes Landon Steele there, watched by Cameron. Cameron just gets the inside position and takes the puck. And McDonnell does some nice feet work and uses his body there to keep it alive and in. Back to the blue line, Campbell now. It's actually Austin, my apologies. Cameron now has a chance to clear once again here for the Miners. 20 seconds remaining in the penalty as they'll send it down. So one last call at the bar here on the Atlantic Acura power play here for the Pictou County Crushers. Walsh can't handle it, so Pilling will go back to his own zone, and that will do it there. 0 for 2 as Hanrahan is out of the box. Here's Pilling now. Pilling scores! Forehand, backhand, net 2-0. .319 the time of that goal. Pilling, beautiful moves. won't go as a shorthanded goal, as getting out of the box at that time was Hanrahan, so not a specialty team's goal, 2-0. Penalty was 1 second expired, so boy, that makes it a swing, doesn't it? All of a sudden, of course, Pictou on their previous power play was looking good and had a chance there, and in the blue ice in the first period, nothing really much was going that time. They had a couple of chances. Nothing really turned to dangerous, and then Pelling, a second after the power play expires, gets the goal. Makes it 2-0. Crosman hoping here to fix this on a 2-on-1. Him and Martin cross, and while they got their numbers crossed, and they were trying to hit McIntosh, he got in behind the D. Of course, it's the second period. One of the things what's so unique about this building is that you have the benches, of course, on separate sides. It's, of course, benches are usually together in the newer arenas, but this building that was opened back in 1927, as I've documented throughout the weekend, benches are different sides, but it's still a long change for the defenseman here for Pictou, so it's the long change as both benches are on the other side of center ice. So it's right now it benefactors the Glace Bay Miners for the change and changing the D, but so the Miners can get behind the and scores! They can get behind the D, and speaking of behind, they've got another one behind Palmer, 3-0. Mr. Cameron. Our cameras can't pick it up, but Mr. Cameron plays with glasses on, so you got to imagine if he ever gets one of those like clear visors, how they fog up, he must have a double fog situation. So he wears a cage, of course, like most of the kids here in the Pee-wee. We don't see a lot of clear cages, but he has glasses, and boy, he saw that one go in, and he had a little bit of a dance afterwards. I've been saying Cameron, but it's Matheson. My apologies on that one. Brady Matheson getting the goal, makes it 3-0. Two-on-one steal. Can he get a shot? No, he runs out of real estate. He can't handle the pass. It was a saucer pass. Back comes Clark the other way. St. Clair, Clark. Matheson going once again to the net. Shot there, and getting a piece of it there was Palmer. And it sails over the crossbar. Two quick goals here in the second period have the Glace Bay Miners up 3-0. They're going end to end here at the Halifax Forum. What else can you ask for? Oh, Hanley. That comes out front there. A couple of whacks there by Walsh, who was down on his knees. Matheson. McIntosh trying to go wide. Stellar defensive play made there by John K. Martin. And now Campbell will go back for it. Actually, Miners will steal it. That 3 white jerseys there for the Crushers, and it was the Miners who came up with it. Getting dirty for the good of the cause. 8:39 remaining here in the second period. 3-0 the score. Here's the Miners pressing again. Pilling, he's got a goal here in this one. He's bodied there by 2 Crushers. Oh, and O'Neill was allowed to walk in and trying to cover up is Palmer. He gets back up quickly as he was unable to cover up for the stoppage. Crusher scrambling here midway through this second period, but here they come, and they're led by Crosman. Crosman's pass is picked off, and now once again, quick transition. Here comes Hanrahan. He's got Nearing with him. Nearing, oh, nice defensive play. Getting back in time with Caden Campbell there. Lifts his stick. Sometimes you see Glace Bay, they've got some quick transition offense, don't they? McIsaac there, watched by Smith, spins away. Spence comes to force the issue there. Slapping it off the boards was Conrad for Pictou County. Sent back down as Hanrahan goes down and hits the ice surface here at the Halifax Forum. Smith can't handle the hot pass. Cameron trying to get up, join the rush possibly. Dalton loses the handle. Hanrahan says, thank you very much. And Hanrahan trying to go for a breakaway. Had Hutchings with him, but that play is snuffed out just in the nick of time there by the Crushers. Past the halfway point here, period number 2, 3-0 to score. Matheson with 2, Pilling with 1. Miners 3, Crushers no score at the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championships here on 360 Live. My name is Dan Hobson, our producer is Neil Gordon, and the 360 Live crew here at the Halifax Forum. Day number 3 of the Provincial Championships. And we know the 4 teams that are, of course, made the playoffs, but right now it's trying to figure out who's second, third, and fourth. Backhand scores! St. Clair. I've got to get myself some New York Islanders hockey pants. If it works for Pilling and St. Clair, they're 2 players that wear those blue and orange striped hockey pants, and they're doing very well in this game. Pilling's got a goal. Now St. Clair's got a goal. They wear the same pants. I've got to get myself a pair. 4-0. I'd be really popular in the adult league that I play in. I think I'd be doing very well point-wise. It may turn my season around. Of course, losing maybe 50 pounds and 14, 15 years playing with some of these guys that are in their 20s and 30s may be also helpful too. Delay penalty coming up as the Crushers touch it, so things going from bad to worse here for the Crushers. And now the Miners will go on the Atlantic Acura power play as Steele will go to the box. Pretty well right now here for Pictou. If they want to really make a game of it here, they're going to have to really put this one out, and you may see them maybe take some chances here. There's a deflection there that goes over the net. Palmer regroups as the puck goes towards the corner. Back to the blue line, Cameron. Wrist shot, there was a little bit of a knuckler. Palmer thought about coming out and put his blocker on it, but then saw it was well wide of the night. Marchand there. Pilling once again. There's O'Neill, a shot, and Palmer with the stop, and O'Neill looks to the heavens, pounds the stick before that. .121 left in the penalty. Cameron, sorry. Matheson with a couple of goals in this one. Pilling. McIntosh. Kept to the outside. Wrist shot, hits bodies. Pilling right there, loose puck. Referee lost sight of it. His back was behind goaltender Palmer, and you could sort of see it here from a broadcast location. You might have been able to see it there with your on the screen. But, of course, the referee doesn't see it, has to blow it down, and that's exactly what he does. Exactly 1 minute remaining in the Steele penalty. Chance here now for Kinsley Austin to send it down and can as it's kept alive there by McIsaac. Hand-to-hand wrist shot goes wide. And Crushers will get a chance to clear. Smith will send it down and chase after it. Going after McIsaac. Goes in behind his own goal. Cathcart. Nice lead pass to Hanrahan, and a nice defensive play there by Smith as he snuffs it out for the meantime. Hutchings here, trying to split the team. Lost the puck, and they try to send it down the ice. The Crushers do. McIsaac once again. Here's McLaughlin with the steal. McLaughlin with a short-handed chance. McLaughlin going in. Lost the puck and then regained possession, and then really ran out of room to get a good one, and a good shot. And there's going to be a penalty, and this one's going to be coming to McLaughlin. He's probably a little bit frustrated with that chance. Another Atlantic Acura power play. It's going to be two-man advantage for 3 seconds. McLaughlin there called for the interference. Four minutes and 19 seconds remaining here in the second period. Penalty to steal is over, so it's another Atlantic Acura power play here for the Miners. McLaughlin did some great work to come up with that shorthanded chance, but then at the frustration of losing the puck, but then regaining it, and really was right in the kitchen of goaltender Strong. Really couldn't get much in terms of a shot, and interfered with the Miner player there in the corner coming up with that puck battle. So he'll sit 2 or less, as Clark will bring it out here for the Miners with 1:20 remaining in that interference penalty to McElvery. That's a nice little stick there by John K. Martin to deflect it over, and that means that the Miners will have to regroup and go back into their own zone, and there'll be 1 minute remaining here in that penalty. So first half of the penalty is in the books. No harm, no foul right now here for the Crushers. Trailing by 4. Back in his own zone, Marchand. It will be Clark that came up with it, and Clark. And now it's another penalty coming up, and they're going to have a 2-man advantage once again here, providing that they don't score. Marchand will send it to the corner. 3 straight penalties here for the Pictou County Crushers. Marchand not arguing about it. Body contact. This is going to be a tired bunch of penalty killers here for the Pictou County Crushers. Steele, of course, took a penalty, and then McLaughlin for interference, and now Marchand. So that has been back to back to back. So it is a 5-on-3 for 19 seconds here. And it's sent down the ice there by Owen Conrad, right on to Manny Strong. Dancing Manny will leave it there for Billy Cameron. Back come the Miners the other way. Pilling now has a goal in this one. Pilling, St. Clair, and 2 by Matheson. Trying to get in on the goal party as the penalty there to McLaughlin is over. So it's a 5-on-4 now for remaining 1 minute and 20 seconds. In that penalty there to Marchand, who's off for body contact. Fresh penalty killers, Dalton, Crosman, Austin, and Campbell there for the Pictou County Crushers. O'Neill, McIntosh, Pilling, Gutwald, and Cameron. That's your power play unit here for the Miners. Kinsley Austin trying to send it here on the near side, boards out, but Gutwald will hold the line. O'Neill, nice little move. O'Neill in the move, and a shot, and didn't miss by much. Got to the mid-slot area and got a wrist shot, and might have missed by less than a foot. There's O'Neill looking for it, but the pass doesn't come as it's knocked down, as this will be Dalton that will get out to center ice on the 2-on-2, 43 seconds. He'll go in after it there, and Crosman as well. So they at least killed some time. They were thinking maybe about going for a little bit of a, try to do a shorthanded scoring chance. It didn't come to fruition. Hanrahan goes down there by Campbell. Speaking of down, the arms of the officials are down, so play will continue on. Wyatt Spence sees the opening, off the boards and down, and Cameron will regroup for the Miners. Hutchings has a little bit of difficulty, tried to take that pass on his backhand, and it allows Campbell to come up with it. And as you hear, 1 minute remaining here in the second period, 4-0 the score, and the penalty there to Marchand is over. Gutwald loses it near center ice area. Nearing now, takes a light bump there from Smith as he goes down and is slow to get up, but he's okay, and now back up there, and looks like he'll go for a change. In the meantime, the Crushers are coming back. Shot there by Mosier is stopped by Strong, and Strong, does he have a little bit of like Cedric the Entertainer, does something funky with the glove. Remember Cedric Desjardins, the goaltender for the Rimouski Oceanic? Does anybody remember them, or is it just me, or am I just realizing I'm very old? He just reminds me of that. He's a pepper pot when he's backing up, and he flashed the glove there. He's just here to have fun. Talking to my producer Neil, we were covering one of the games yesterday where he had his blocker and glove up. Yeah, and I said at the game at the time, I'm not touching it, Coach. I'm not touching it. Here's St. Clair touching it there for the Miners as he tried to pass there to Hudson Clark. They say we're into the dying stages. 1 second remains as the period comes to an end. And the Glace Bay Miners with goals from Pilling, Matheson, and St. Clair have a 4-0 lead after 2 periods of play here at the Halifax Forum. You're watching the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championships here on 360 Live. Exactly 11 o'clock. Well, just like that, it goes to 11:01 on the east coast of Canada. Hi, everybody. Good morning, wherever you're watching around the World Wide Web. Maybe it's good afternoon or good evening. Wherever it is, whatever it is, thank you for joining us here in Halifax. The Halifax Forum first opened its doors in 1927, December 21st, on the old grounds of the Nova Scotia Provincial Exhibition, badly damaged during the Halifax explosion of 1917. Glad you could join us. It's the PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championships. My name is Dan Hobson. Delighted you could join us. 4-0 is the score here. Matheson, who's got the puck, has 2 goals in this one. St. Clair also looking for the Miners. He has 1 as well. We're delighted wherever you could join us here on 360 Live. 4-0 is the score. As I said, Matheson with 2, Pilling and St. Clair, the markers here for the Miners. Miners have got themselves into the playoffs, that's for sure. Where they're going to finish is anywhere between 1 to 4. 1 is a very slim chance right now. And pretty well the Ducks, who play next against the West Hants Warriors, can really clinch first place with a win. But second, third, and fourth, they are all at 5 points. So coming into day number 3. And right now they were sitting in that 4th spot as they have 9 goals against. That's what really determines things when you have a tiebreaker format, second, third, and fourth. Everybody all at 5 points. It's the goals against, and right now they have a goals against of 9, and Bedford has 5, and West Hants is 6. So as a result of that, but of course a win, and they will move up and have to wait to see what happens. So they're going to play this game out, and then they'll have to be just bystanders to see what happens the rest of the way. Just 2 more round-robin games remaining here, and we also have the skills competition coming up in the third at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and it's brought to you by RCS Construction, and that will be at 2. Speaking of this third period, it's brought to you by Cushman Wakefield, as we are underway here, early stages of this third period. Pictou County Crushers trying to get something going, and I think get the piece of strong and a goal post as well. But because he was tucked against the post, it went out the other side. Back come the Miners the other way, and they're trying to get the breakout. It actually hit Cameron, but no big deal. He kept on going. Cameron trying to get himself an MVP here, and they'll have those coming up after the end of this broadcast. And of course, the player of the game is brought to you by Dexter Construction. And we'll have that immediately following the end of this hockey game between the Miners and the Crushers. Slapper there from the point as Conrad steps into that one. It's Marchand once again. He's a big defenseman there. So you definitely know that John Sim, the former NHLer, now coach of the Werewolf Bombers, has got to be keeping an eye on this kid there. Of course, he used to coach this Pictou County Crusher team. He took them to a championship when they hosted them Provincials in Trenton. And that was a couple of years ago, 2017. The silver medalists were the Tassa Ducks. And the Tassa Ducks look like to be the team to look out for here as we get into the later stages here of the round-robin portion on top of the standings. But we should be in for a dandy playoffs, and they will be Sunday. So just a little program reminder right now here on 360 Live. Cathcart with the puck, and we'll send it here along the far side. Near side, pardon me. Smith had it, lost it, but it will be McIntosh and the Miners coming back the other way as he tries to go wide on Austin, blows a tire. Went for a little bit of a skid on the fresh ice. And played the puck, and Pilling up there looking for the loose puck. Trying to send it here to O'Neill. And O'Neill has it there. Referee, nice little pylon right there. Right place, right time, eh? Austin. Dalton now. And it's sent in. And The Miners will assess the situation, and here they are on the breakout. Actually hits the Crusher player. Smith has a chance to clear. Dalton up there looking for it. Walsh there. And it's Gutwalt with the puck. It hits Dalton. Conrad trying to get in a foot race with O'Neill. O'Neill gets there. He's trying to get a backhand down to the back to the point. There is O'Neill. Trying to send it to the corner, but he puts it right on to Conrad of the Crushers. Nice pass, wrong team. Crosman there tried to knock that down with his glove and can't. And you can see the Miners all back defensively. They're really going to probably shut down the scoring chances here for Pictou here in this third period. 4-0 to score. 9:22 remaining. Conrad, backhand up the middle, nobody in particular. O'Hanley will go back for it. O'Hanley has tucked that jersey when he came out. You might have saw it. O'Hanley's jersey goes right down to the end of his hockey pants. He decided to tuck it in here. Must have been getting in the way. That would be kind of distracting. You're trying to skate and your jersey's right down to your legs. Never had that problem. I've had jerseys that were short. Had to get people to help me get it over my shoulder pads when I was playing in my younger days. A big guy wearing a small shirt. Very, very ugly. That's all I've got to say. Offside the call as we get back to this one. Remember Phil from the Trailer Park Boys? How he'd have the shirt down, the belly button would be showing. It was almost the same in hockey. In my minor days, when I was playing when I was a teenager. As I said, it's not a pretty picture, folks. Not a pretty picture. Penalty coming up, so we'll get back to the play here as we had a little bit of a comedy moment as Clark will go off for roughing. And the time is 6:26. So another Atlantic Acura power play here, this time for the Pictou County Crushers. Steele now, he was injured there in the power play early in that first period. He seems to be, of course, okay. Back out here. Has anybody seen Austin lately? Yes, he is. He's out there playing defense there for the Crushers with the cross-ice pass over to Marchand and the stop there by Storm. Strong. Backhander there by Martin, and that's stopped there by Strong. $120 of the best Pee-wee players here in Nova Scotia have come this weekend, and we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of this, and finally, they break the ice. The Crushers do, and scores. It hits Strong and just trickles in. They're talking about it. It looks like Steele will be the... Well, they're talking about who got it, but first it looked like Steele, but now it looks like John K. Martin. They'll take it. They don't care. It's 4-1. Not like they keep stats there on who's got what. As a team, of course. So 4-1 the score. They've yet to put it up on the scoreboard here. Finally they do here at the arena. As the Crushers are looking for trying to play the role of spoiler, as I mentioned off the top. They know that, of course, they won't be going to the playoff round, but they get a chance to refresh, get those injuries maybe taken care of, those bruises, cuts, nagging, aching parts, and get ready for the Atlantics in a couple of weeks. And they'll be in New Glasgow. Conrad. Smith. So the defending champions from 2017, of course, all those players have moved on and not here anymore, but they were coming here maybe hoping to have a good showing and get a good seeding there when it comes to the Atlantics, but it looks like the possibility of 5 teams from, of course, all of Atlantic Canada, 1 from Newfoundland and 2 from Nova Scotia and 1 from New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island. They may be the 5th seed, so they maybe have a little bit of a tougher schedule. A shot there, and they didn't miss by much. So that's the task at hand, but they still keep on fighting. McDonnell was in the wrong part of town and couldn't come up with a puck, so he has to go back to his own zone. And here come the Crushers regrouping, led by Campbell. Walsh has to go to the backhand to try to field it there. Can't. Crosby now with Walsh and Dalton. Crosby now, wrist shot, and Strong gets a little bit of it. Just enough to keep it out. And it goes towards the corner. Now it goes to the opposite corner. McIsaac and Crosby exchange pleasantries, and 3 wide now come the Glace Bay Miners as they are led. Whoa, there's body contact and interference, whatever you want to call it, as Stone Cold Kinsley Austin lowered the boom pretty well and prevented Hanrahan from going towards the net. So Kinsley Austin says the bottom line is that he didn't score, and the referee says, I know, but you're going to go to the box, 2 or less there for interference. And the time of that is 9:10 here. And time starting to 5:10, pardon me. Difficulty reading the clock again. So 5 minutes and 33 seconds remain here in this third period. And a minute 38 left here in the Atlantic Acura power play for the Glace Bay Miners. Matheson, it's got 2. Guarded there, watched by McDonnell. Steele. Spence now, pocket picked. Just outside the blue line, and quick transition here for the Miners. Matheson had some nice little handles, but lost the puck and made maybe 1 too many moves, and the Crushers swift the steal and send it down. And now they'll get a fresh penalty killers out here. Second half of the penalty. That's right, 1 minute remaining. St. Clair with the dump in. Marchand, Pilling, foot race. What a size advantage Marchand has over Pilling. You see it right there. McIntosh, pardon me, couldn't pull the trigger. He had a nice little drag move, but couldn't pull the trigger on the shot. McLaughlin tried to hit Mosier. Gutwald once again gets in the way. He's been right place, right time defensively, and he has put like the smoke out of the fire there for offensive chances for the teams here at the championships, the opposing teams, that's for sure. 20 seconds remaining in the Atlantic Acura power play here for the Miners as Kinsley Austin's off for interference. Fanning on that clear attempt there was Campbell, so the Miners now have it. McIntosh runs into Marchand, and that was, of course, accidental because it wasn't really any contact. McIntosh was just skating, and then he ran into a brick wall. That brick wall is named Ben Marchand. And going to be a penalty as Kinsley Austin had a chance there, but a trip by the Miners player, and the Atlantic Acura power play coming up this time for the Pictou County Crushers. O'Hanley will go for the trip. Three minutes and 39 seconds remain here in the game. Walsh done the draw there, but it's the Miners that get possession and send it down. Palmer was thinking about coming out and getting it there, but thought better of it. And back they come the other way. Here comes Conrad. leading 3 wide on the charge here for the Crushers. Goes in behind the net. Crosman now. Back to the point. McDonnell. Conrad. Wrist shot through bodies and out the other side. Crosman was at the face-off circle. Sets up outside. He's watched there by Hutchings. He'll go rink wide with it. And it's a little bit too hot to handle, but still inside the zone. Conrad with a nice pass down low. Out the other side as they try to set up Crosman was waltzed. McDonnell. Crosman now. Penalty, 1:06 remaining there. It's a tripping call to O'Hanley, number 5 there of the Miners. Hanrahan out there trying to get in the kitchen there of the Pictou County Crushers and trying to come up with a loose puck. And he finally does. Nice work. Now he'll go wide there on Conrad. Does a little dipsy-do dunkaroo, but lost the puck in the process. And now he'll go off for a much-needed change. Smith tees up for a shot. And that handcuff's strong, but his defense partner was there, and it slapped down the rest of the way there by Cameron. Might have had difficulty with that, but you kind of sometimes have to have numbers, and you have to be at the right place, right time, and that was the case. Oh, Pilling had a chance to go the other way with it and couldn't handle it. It was a right pass, wrong team situation once again. That puck rolls into Strong, and he covers up with 13 seconds remaining in the Atlantic Accurate Power Play for the Glace Bay Miners. And we have 1:52 left in this one, and 1:52 left in the Pictou County Crushers play here at the championships. Their last game of the round robin. And right now, of course, as I said, all 4 teams have been determined. It's just a matter of seedings now. Who's second, who's third, who's fourth. TASA has first place, and if they can beat the West Hants Warriors, they will keep first place. As the penalty to O'Hanley is over, and he will go to the bench for a change, and hopping off is the big center, Hudson Clark, number 16. Here's Matheson. Going wide on Marchand. Drop pass to St. Clair, a shot that doesn't get through. Boy, it helps to have a big center like Hudson Clark. Just win those puck battles, you know. Just easily can come up with the puck there on those 50-50 battles along the boards there. 1:10 remains here in this one, 4-1 the score. And we have whistle stopping play on the offside. So all those Pictou County folks there that are tuning in, watching here on 360 Live, this is a team that they're definitely a growing team, and, you know, it may not be their time this year. That's up, of course, to the players at the Atlantics to win in a couple of weeks from now in New Glasgow, but they have some strong play, and, you know, get out and support this club when they are playing at the Pictou County Wellness Center April 4th to 7th at the Atlantics. You give them that extra boost, that will give them the extra energy here. They came here in the championships, and they are, of course, finished second place in the Nova Scotia Mainland Hockey League, as they, of course, were the second best compared to the West Hants Warriors, and they had a winning season. So, I mean, you look at that league. Here, look at that! Scores! As I was saying, you look at them, they have a lot of stars. I like Steele's play so far, as well as Conrad, McIntosh, and Mosier. And Mosier will get that goal here with 26 seconds remaining, but it's pretty elementary. 4-2, but that's what you need. Keep that positive energy. And if they have some players taking part here in the skills competition at 2 o'clock this afternoon, let's hope they have fun. But folks, if you're in the Pictou County area, April 4th to 7th, the Atlantics being held. There'll be some great hockey. Right now, 2 teams from Nova Scotia will be there. And if you get some hometown crowd, boy, you never count out the home team in their own tournament. 4-2 the final as this one comes to an end, as the Miners were driving towards the end. The horn clearly goes. 4-2 the final score here in this one. Pictou County Crushers. Final game here at the championships. The Miners, they know they've got another game coming, but who will be their opposition. That is what remains to be seen. Pictou began the day 0-3, 3 goals for, 12 against. They'll see those goals against go to 16 and their goals for 5. That will put them ahead of Sydney. Sydney and them have the same amount of goals for. Handshakes. So in just a couple of moments, we'll have the Dexter Construction Player of the Game presentation. And we'll get everybody all set up for the next one here at 12 o'clock. I circled this one on the calendar. I hope you did too, folks, if you follow Pee-wee hockey as much as I do. Toss of Ducks, West Hants Warriors, 2 teams undefeated. But so far, the West Hants Warriors have found themselves almost losing a game to Pictou. And they got a tie against the Halifax Hawks, so it could be a burner here coming up at 12. Of course, the player of the game presentation is always glorious as they play that theme song in the background. Player of the game presentation to ice level. Landon Steele, player of the game, and he could also be a Yarmer Yarger lookalike contest winner for ages 12 to 14 or 10 to 12. Rory Pilling, who had a goal in this one. 4-2 is where we stand here. Crushers. Their time here at the provincial championships have come to an end, but they'll have some players that will take part probably in the skills competition later on at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Miners will go to their dressing room and they will change and have some players, of course, ready for the skills competition at 2. And then they'll have to sit back and wait to see where they'll finish and who they will play in the playoffs tomorrow. So that will do it now for the entire crew here at the Halifax Forum. My name is Dan Hobson. Thank you for tuning in to 360 Live's continuing coverage of the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Championships from the Halifax Forum. So long for now.